morning, I'm Carol at Mainly Pilates. I've been asked this morning about hip flexor stretch. These are your hip flexors, the ones at the front. We use them all the time, every time you go upstairs, if you go running, skipping, any other exercises like that. So this is flexing your hip and this is extending your hip. So it's the hip flexor stretch we've been asked about. So it's to stretch off when you're doing lots of things involving this. Okay, make sure, I'll show you from the front, that your feet are hip distance apart, and when you go into the stretch you stay at that hip distance apart, because if you try and have one foot in front of the other you're going to lose your balance, and out here is not doing what I'm asking. So hip distance apart. Now we'll go to the side, hip distance apart. If you notice, I take a big stride forward. My knee needs to stay, if I were to drop a plumb line, my knee needs to stay behind my ankle. If my knee's in front, you're overstretching your knees. If you've got any knee issues, this will really hurt you. So you take a big stride forward, face the front, have the hips square to the front, and now just slightly pelvic tilt. So this is not pelvic tilt, this is normal pelvic tilt. Now take that weight down and slightly forward until you feel a mild tension here. And remember, it's always with me, mild tension. If you force it, you'll hurt yourself. All we're trying to do is stretch it off and bring it back to the length it was before you started the exercise. Because every time you exercise a muscle, you contract it. So when you're doing all your skipping and running, you're contracting the hip flexor. Now we need to get it back. So I'm quite comfortable there. So I'm going to hang around. We're going to do that for 30 seconds. You can, I'm not. And all the time engage your core, shoulders down and back so you're comfortable. So here we go. Now if you want to upgrade it, because you, like me, are time sensitive and you want to multitask, you can do your hip flexor stretch, then you can take your hands to prayer, take that elbow over the knee, which will help you push sideways on, so you're getting a spine twist at the same time. But always make sure you've got your balance before you start to turn. And another progression, if you take your hands inside that foot, take the foot slightly wider. Now I'm going to knock my knee away with my shoulder. So now I'm getting a nice inner thigh stretch here as well. So I haven't lost this stretch yet, but I'm gaining this one. And if you're quite flexible, you can go down a bit, bend the elbows, or even put the elbows on the floor. Okay, and come out of it, and always do both sides. I hope that helps, and any more questions, give me a shout.